I need the bass and the sound. A drop and a drum. I need the bass and the sound. A drop and a drum. I need the bass and the sound.
Welcome back to the behind the scenes vlog. It's the morning after the AMS, and I think we had a great day yesterday. Some of us also had a great night or evening. Some more than others, but we skip over that. Some might remember that just before Christmas, of course, JC Wings dropped this really surprising EasyJet model, and I got myself a few. I showed them in a review, I showed them in the behind the scenes vlog, and I talked about that since I had bought multiple units and I wasn't quite sure actually what I wanted to do with it. But I alluded to the fact that I might want to change the registration on some of these models. And that's actually something that I luckily don't have to do, because I'm here in Amsterdam together with Tim, who you also might know as TWC Customs. And since he is a fantastic custom model maker, he has very generously offered to change the registrations for me. Yeah, I will let him do the work while I'm just filming it.
Hey guys, it's me, TWC Customs, and I mean, custom work doesn't stop in Amsterdam, right? So I'm changing the registration on 3 EasyJets and on 1 Jetstar A320. I already removed the original registration, and now I am applying the new one, which is pretty easy, I'm not gonna lie. So again, it's just warm water, not hot water, warm water. If it's too hot, then the decal foil actually shrinks down and it just glues to itself, and then you can't really use it anymore. And now I have the very tiny decal. Slightly pull it off the sheet. Carefully apply it. Remove the water, and then just carefully slide it into place. And that's basically it. And now I have to do the same part like 12 more times. So
Alright guys, so you just got a little bit of a behind the scenes look at how to, well, modify your models. You don't always necessarily have to change everything on a model. Sometimes you might just want to change the registration code. Of course, I have in the past already done 2 tutorial videos together with another guy called Tim, but you might also know him as HDI International, where we also show you the process in more detail. But yeah, this is just a little interlude in this behind the scenes from Amsterdam. Just like that, we are back where we started, back at the terrace, the Panorama terrace in Schiphol. I'm still here, and my good friend Vienna North is still here. Joe doing a little bit of spotting despite the really poor weather. As always, it has been an absolute blast at the Collectors Fair. Yeah, I met so many lovely people, so many of you viewers. That's always nice. To get a face on those names that pop up in the comments, and yeah, that's great. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, I'll be traveling home a bit later today, and I don't really know where we are in the vlog, to be honest, if this is the end, if this is in the middle of a vlog, but yeah, we take it as it comes. Hopefully it will be an enjoyable flight. I don't really expect anything majorly to happen, but yeah, let's see. I will film on, and at some point, of course, we will reach an end with this vlog, but they continue once I'm back in Denmark as well. But yeah, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody that I met at the Collectors Fair in Amsterdam. Been a pleasure as always, but yeah, it is just, I mean, yeah, you get a lot of nice models, and I will do a separate video on the models that I brought home. But yeah, this is really a good place where you can connect with people, and I really enjoy meeting you guys, because it's a nice way, and also, you know, seeing that the community in general is coming together. So many creators that we see on mainly Instagram, but also YouTube, coming together there and having a good time together and just enjoying this, regardless of what scale you're collecting, if it's 200, 400, 500 or whatever scale there might be. But just coming together and in a way celebrating the fact that we all just like collecting these silly little plane models, and yeah, what a lovely time. Hiding here behind what I brought back from Amsterdam. I'm back in the HQ. It's been a while. I wanted to do this way before, but I was super busy when I got back from Amsterdam. But I just quickly wanted to go through well, what I actually got home with from the fair, and also a few models I got the day just before the fair, because I got a whole bunch of custom models from HDI International Airport, and especially also quite a few from TWC. So yeah, let's quickly sort through this, and then I will show you all the models that I got at the fair. All right, let's start off with this. As you might have seen in my last vlog from the fair itself, I was gifted this so very kindly from Thijs, and I do look forward to try to put it in the cabinet behind me and see if I can make something nice with that. But yeah, once again, thank you very much for this. Then I got a bunch of things here for very little money. I got some buildings here. That is, I mean, it has the original packaging, but it is actually just some leftover parts of these Herpa standard models or Herpa standard buildings. Don't really know if I will be using this at some point, maybe. Then I got a tower. I already have that, but that just means maybe I can include this in a giveaway at some point in the future. Then I got a bunch of jet bridges. Always useful, you can always use jet bridges. I got a pack of these blast fences, also always quite useful. And then I got the hangar from Herpa Wings. Does seem to be a quite old version. I mean, it's basically the same hangar. It doesn't matter at what year it was bought, but when I look at the box, this is still like a really proper cardboard box. So yeah, also not sure if I will ever use this. I got all this for very little money. That's the only reason I took it home with me. But I think this could also be something that we will put into a giveaway at some point, perhaps. So now that that is out of the way, let me see, I can put it over here.
There we go. Then at the beginning of the vlog you saw that TWC was so very kind to modify a few aircraft for me. I had these EasyJet models. I have 4 of them. I left one with the original registration, but then but the other 3 here were converted and now have individual registration codes. So yeah, that's really nice. And then I had this Jetstar A320. Happer made this in the standard livery of Jetstar. However, it was the Japanese Jetstar. They have, of course, the Australian Jetstar. There was also, I don't think it exists anymore, but in any case, there was a Jetstar in Japan, so it had a Japanese registration. We've now changed that, so it now has an Australian registration, which will mean that it can work with my future New Zealand setups. I'm really happy about that. Now, let me see. Then I got a bunch of models from HDI. Tim, a good friend of mine, he firstly came up with this little fella here. Now that is on the box, of course, it says Team Lufthansa. However, he has customized this into a Air New Zealand -8 300, so I really do look forward to that. A long time ago he actually also removed some branding on this little Jumbolino for me. It has a Australian registration, again could work really well in the background of a New Zealand setup therefore. And then actually, and that was a big surprise, he had made this little 737 with Rex Airlines livery for me. As a gift. I didn't know he was doing it, and he had, to be fair, been doing this. Well, actually, the thing, I'm not sure. I think HDI kind of initiated the making of this, but when I look at the box, it has the TWC sticker, so it seems like TWC actually made it, the model. But that was before the airline went bust. But again, it could also really work nicely as a background model for a New Zealand setup. So yeah, I apologize that actually I do believe the story was that HDI basically asked TWC to make it for him because he didn't have time for it. But in any case, both Tims, thank you very much for the Rex model. Right, there were a few more models. Again, you might have seen it in the previous vlog from the fair itself. I was gifted from HDI, from Tim, this 747 in a Fraport livery, so Frankfurt Airport. There's a whole backstory to that, and I might one day tell it, but yeah, another model I envisioned using anytime soon, but anyone involved in this knows why. But still quite funny, and it was a great moment for sure. And then I got from Tim HDI International Airport a bunch of F-toy models. He had ordered quite a few and was very kind to give me a few of those. And it, if I remember correctly, it should be a 7878, a 787-10, and a 777 of ANA cargo. So these F-toy models, if you don't know about them, they're basically like snap-fit models, just in scale 500, made out of plastic. So you have to put all these pieces together yourself. And there are even some decals that you then apply so that you can add even more detailing than they already have. I actually also have one of Japan Airlines, an A350, which has been laying around with me for quite a while, but I have just not gotten around to really put it together. I want to do reviews on these, obviously, although I think I will maybe take one of them and just, you know, to learn myself before I put myself in front of a camera than doing it, although I don't think it will be that difficult. But in any case, yeah, some interesting models here, and something I want to highlight also a little bit more on the channel as soon as I find the time to it. That's at the moment really the struggle, to have enough time for all these models. But yeah, let's see what we can do. All right, so those were the models and things for the start. A few modified models, a few things from HDI. Then I got 2 models from Shahab, Aviation Custom Model Designer. He made 2 models for me. Once the Atlantic Airways. That was it, sorry. Once the Atlantic Airways Airbus A320neo. If you watched my vlog from last year, you might have seen that I already got an Atlantic Airways. That was, however, of a standard, so a A320 CEO. Now I also have the Neo, so I really do look forward to reviewing that model as well as the Air Calin A320 Neo. I was very happy that he managed to do this model for me in time for the fair this year. A lovely livery on a model that I don't think we will have a chance seeing in Scale 500 anytime soon, if ever. And yeah, so really happy that I now have this model, because it will also really nicely work with an Air New Zealand or New Zealand setup. So 2 models from Shahab. Those will of course also be reviewed at some point here in the future. Then I got a bunch more custom models from TWC. Let's just go through them. Yeah, so we got 2 Brussels Airlines models. We can maybe start with that. I have now the A320 Neo in their standard livery, so really happy about that. And I also have the A330 in their new standard livery. Herpa has been talking a long time, trying to do it. Nothing has happened. I can't be bothered to wait any longer. And luckily TWC had time and managed to do these 2 models for me. So I'm really happy with that, because now I can, for example, the A330 will work perfectly with my Philadelphia setup. And of course, an A320 Neo of Brussels Airlines will work in pretty much any other European setup that I have. So really happy about that. Then he made me a Virgin Australia 737 MAX 8. Also really happy about that. Cool livery. Herpa has only made a 777. I don't think they have. They might have made some previous versions of the airline when it was still called, was it V Australia or something like that? But Virgin Australia, I think we only have the 777 in Scale 500. So custom models are the way forward in this case. Yeah, really looking forward to that. TWC Customs, thank you very much, Tim, for that. A model that I really look forward to taking a closer look at in a review is this Southwest Airlines 737 MAX 8. I can't tell you how excited I am about this aircraft model. Herpa just, again, is not capable of making any new Southwest Airlines models. There were in the past. There are plenty of Southwest models made in other scales, but Herpa, apparently for them it's impossible. So we again revert to custom models, and oh, what a banger that is. I really do look forward to that. I think he has done a fantastic work with that. And yeah, as I said, I look really forward to taking an even closer look at it for a review sometime here in the future. Then we have a German Airways E90. Now, it's not so long ago that I actually reviewed the E90 German Airways from Herpa Wings. That has, however, the 75-year anniversary logo of Herpa on it. So I got the model twice, because then I could send one of these 2 models to TWC Customs, so he could remove the 75-year anniversary logo for me. So I could get one in the standard German Airways livery. So again, a model that I also, well, I don't know, I'm not sure I will review all of these models, but I will for sure take a look at some of them. The Southwest for sure. I might even do the German Airways, but probably a bit later down the line. Then, and I think actually this might be the first custom that I ordered from TWC. It's a Jetstar. But this is not a Jetstar made by Herpa and then converted into an Australian Jetstar. No, this is a Jetstar custom model made from the ground. So he gave it the grey base paint. He has even managed to give it the orange paint on the belly of the aircraft. So really incredible work here as well. And I love that he actually customizes his boxes so that yeah, you have the full branding as it should be. But it's nice that he does that. That's a really nice move from a TWC Custom. Really lovely work here as well. And then the final custom model I got from him this time around, because I have a few more on order, is the A321neo of Air New Zealand, and you might rightly say so. Yes, there are already A321neos from Herpa, but one is in the all black livery, it looks really beautiful, and one is in the Star Alliance livery, also very beautiful, but I would also very much like to have one in the standard livery, and now I do have that as well. So that's really nice, because the standard livery is also really beautiful, and yeah, will fit perfectly again in a New Zealand setup. So those are the models that I got from TWC. Well, actually, not true. Those are not all the models I got from TWC. I got 4 more models also in this round. All of them also custom. Very much custom, so because you won't be able to get them anywhere else. And it is the next batch of Bongo Air aircraft models. 2 of them are of Bongo Air cargo, so the cargo operations will be extended. So A321 P2Fs. Then I have 2 other Bongo aircraft models. Those, however, I won't show you just yet because I want them to be a little bit of a surprise. But they will appear at some point on the channel. But they might be slightly different to what you have seen so far of Bongo Air on YouTube or on Instagram. So yeah. An extension of the Bongo Air fleet, so that is also something I look forward to. And now we get to the models that are bought at the fair. Now it kind of looks like I didn't get that many models at the fair itself, but I think I still got some decent things. Now I was actually looking for an A400M, either of the Royal Air Force or the German Air Force. And I didn't manage to find them this year around. Last year I did find, I think, of a German Airways, German Air Force, but I didn't buy it because I thought the model was too expensive. This time around I didn't find any of them, but I did find some other things, also military actually, but not the A400, but the C-17. And I got one of the Royal Australian Air Force. So for sure also a nice aircraft model for a New Zealand setup, because they will be appearing in New Zealand every now and then in real life, as well as then in a model setup of me sometime in the future. Many projects to dive into here in the coming weeks and months, more realistically. And the second C-17 I got, that is then the C-17 of the British, so the Royal Air Force. And yeah, also I think a nice addition, can work in pretty much all European setups as well. And yeah, probably even a New Zealand setup. I guess they could even appear sometime there. But yeah, so that's something for the collection, and of course to be reviewed at some point, even if I know very little about military aircraft. But hey, then I got myself 2 quite special aircraft. Now I know very little about them. I just know that for a very long time I didn't get them because I actually thought they looked pretty hideous, but then I could get them for a very good time. If I can open this, wow, this is very tight. That's what she said. Okay, here we go. These are these kind of, I don't know what they're called, like rescue fire aircraft. You know, they can drop water, and if you have a fire somewhere in nature. I think they're called the CL215 and 415. There are 2 versions. Now I have each of one. And yeah, I got them for a very good price. That's why I said, okay, you know what, now is the time to get them. And those will be reviewed as well here on the channel, obviously. I think I will make a double review of them because, honestly speaking, they look slightly different, but the differences are not that big. So that could be a nice double review at some point here on the channel. Then a little gift from Herpa. I did talk with the Herpa product manager, of course, during the fair, and I really do recommend you to check out this video. I think there were some really interesting points there. I will leave a link to it in the video description below, but he was so kind to, I think he gave pretty much all that visited the Herpa stand a little truck, a little piece of GSE with the Herpa 75-year anniversary logo. Well, why not? I mean, that's a fun little thing. I have already seen some dubious people put this up on eBay for like 50 euros, and that's absolutely insane. Please don't buy from people like that. They don't deserve your money or support. That's, I mean, come on, 50 euros for something like this? No. Scalpers do not deserve the support of the community. That's at least my opinion. Then I got one more Scale 500 aircraft model, and that was the Qantas A380. I actually have no idea if this will fit anywhere in any of my airport setups, but you know, the new Qantas livery, even though it is not very different to the old livery, but slightly updated, and it just looks nice. So I thought to myself, you know what, that A380 looks nice, and I can get it for a reasonable price. Why not? So I treated myself with this, and we'll see. At the very least, it will be a nice review at some point in the future. But yeah, then of course I kind of have the tradition, I guess we could say, that I like to come home from the fair in Amsterdam with at least one Scale 200 aircraft model, and that has been the case in the first fair and also in the second fair. This time I managed to get home with 3 Scale 500 aircraft models. I went a little bit overboard, but I found some really nice ones. Firstly, I got the aircraft model that I should have gotten in the first place, and it is a Fokker 50 of Maersk Air. Why should I have gotten this in the first place? Well, because I actually have another little Maersk Scale 200 aircraft model here in the background of a, I think is it the -6, -7? See, I don't even memorize what aircraft type it is, and I actually said in the review of this model that it was the wrong aircraft type. The livery fits my childhood memories, but the aircraft type is a little bit too early for me. And I said in the review the correct aircraft for me would have been the Fokker 50. And at that time I had no idea that just one batch later Herpa would actually release the Fokker 50 of Maersk Air. So the aircraft type that I flew on as a child and have, you know, memories of. Not so much of the experience overall of flying. For that I was a bit too young, but I know that I was there, and I remember the noise, and especially of course the livery. So that was a model that I skipped just because I already had the other model and they came right after each other. Now I found it at the fair and I said, okay, you know what, maybe a bit stupid, but this is actually the right aircraft model. If I should have any of these two, it should be this one. So now I have it. Will of course also be a model that I will try to review here on the channel in the future. And then I got myself 2 more Scale 200 aircraft models. I got myself a Scandinavian Airlines A321 Neo or LR. Unfortunately, as I found out during the fair, actually Vienna North, or Joe found out for me, it's not the correct registration code, but I did fly on the inaugural flight of Scandinavian Airlines from Copenhagen to Toronto, and that was on the A321 LR. That flight was on an A321 LR with a different registration code, but in this case, okay, there is no aircraft of with that registration, but at least of the aircraft type. And it looked really nice. It's a JC Wings Scale 200 model, so you know it will be good. Yeah, was happy to find it. So I don't think, well, actually I know, I don't have any A320 family aircraft models so far in Scale 200, so this is a first, so really happy with that. And then I think perhaps the highlight for me, because, yeah, for many reasons. It's a 757. The very first 757 I have in Scale 200. It's my very first in-flight 200 aircraft model. I have never had an in-flight 200 aircraft model before. I have only heard good things about this company, pretty much being top of the rocks when it comes to Scale 200. And then it has this really cool retro livery of Iceland Air. A nice cool blue cheat line. Yeah, brilliant stuff. And the 757s of Iceland Air are very much on the way out. So yeah, as a memory, even though I actually have never seen this aircraft or this livery, but yeah, I thought it was a cool model. So I went ahead splashed the cash and got myself this Iceland Air 757 200 from In-Flight 200. Yeah, so really happy with that. Again, a model I will take a look at here on the channel, but I have now so many models. And I mean, even before the fair, I already had so many models laying around here that I still need to review. So we won't run out of models anytime soon, that's for sure. But that is what I got this year around. Yeah, I didn't actually. I mean, I had a very short list of models that I was looking for specifically, and I didn't find any of them. But I found a bunch of other things, and really happy with all the custom models that I got because they will be super useful for future projects. And as I said, there are more custom models actually being made right now, which I will pick up a bit later this year. So yeah, cool stuff coming for sure. But that's all for this year's fair from Amsterdam Aviation Collectors Fair. That's the full name of it, the AACF. It was a brilliant event, even though the day after, as you saw maybe in the beginning of this video, I was a little bit hungover, just a little bit. But it was a really cool event. Meeting a lot of really interesting people, a lot of you guys, which is always brilliant. I had a blast with my friends, and yeah, got myself some nice models to take a look at in the future. So yeah, I don't want to drag this out any further. I have a bunch of things planned and I have very little time, so at some point, but there will be a lot of interesting things coming up throughout the year, that's for sure. So just bear with me, and I hope you will stick around. But for now, thanks so much for watching, and please do let me know in the comment section below what models you got from the fair, if you got any, and then see you in another video. I'm checking out, and bye.